So welcome everyone, and today we will be doing indexes and stocks analysis. As most of you know, we have been doing Zoom sessions for over 8 months now, and I have been uploading the recordings on the channel so people can watch offline. And today, as an experiment, I am trying streaming so that I don't have to export the videos, edit it, and share with everyone, which would make sure that people who are watching the session recordings later, they would be able to get these videos or watch recording earlier than they used to. So
That's awesome.
yeah, since this is our first attempt, maybe there might be some glitches for those who are watching streaming online, but hopefully we'll improve upon and get things streamlined. So with that, I'll start sharing my screen. And we can go through TSX and some of the indexes first, which will give an idea of how the market can perform next week and help us in analyzing the stocks traded on these indexes with better accuracy. So we'll begin with TSX. For TSX, as we had seen last to last week, it was on uptrend, and last week we had mentioned that we can expect a start of downtrend, and which is what we saw this week. It could continue further downtrend. As you can see, these indicators, they have turned, but because of last session, this green candle, you can see these indicators Williams R and CCI flattening. But since it is yet to touch the mid Bollinger Band level, you could still expect some downtrend in the next week, probably on Monday, Tuesday, and especially the stocks which are from large to mid cap, you could expect downtrend. If you see on the weekly chart, the last week was a red candle, and if you closely see, the upper Bollinger Band has turned slightly downward. Though the mid Bollinger Band is up and lower Bollinger Band is up, since this upper Bollinger Band has turned slightly downward, you could expect the trend to be downwards, and gradually this mid Bollinger Band getting stretched up, and once it reaches a level around 18400 or 1800, it would be the level around which it might touch the mid Bollinger Band on weekly chart, and from there it would be good to watch about a week to see if it reverses from mid Bollinger Band or it can go further down. Vivek sir, would you like to add
No,
anything?
so far so good.
Great. So from TSX, let's go to NDX.
Try and analyze Nasdaq also because that's going to be critical.
Exactly. Right. So I'll just remove these indicators.
That's a different story altogether.
Yeah, totally. So for Nasdaq, it has a totally different trend, as Vivek sir rightly mentioned. It has been on downtrend from over 3 weeks, then corrected, and as we had expected last week, around this mid Bollinger Band level of, we had expected around 1300. It went little further to 13280, and then has started moving downward as we had expected, because the upper Bollinger Band and mid Bollinger Band was downward and is still downward. It's just the last session was green. That's why you see Williams R and CCI turning up. However, with mid Bollinger Band and upper Bollinger Band downward, you could still expect some downward trend to continue in this week as well. If we go to weekly trend, so was on downward this a week before this, it held on mid Bollinger Band and then the last week was green. So you could expect it to again touch around this 12,800 and most probably it might move down as well as Williams R and CCI on the weekly chart. It's not in oversold position, so you could expect next week little downward on NDX. Vivek sir, any different opinion here?
No, no.
So as one of our
But again, I think 12,000 Nasdaq 12,350 would be a strong support for it to take bouncing back. 12,350.
yes,
That's it. Or 12,300. Yeah.
yeah, 12,300, and I think that's
12,300 would be a very strong support. And if you take this on a weekly also, you will see a bigger support there.
exactly, that's why I was doing this. So 12,300, 12,300 would be around this
That's it.
supports. So there is a strong support
And
at
that was the exact resistance in the month of August and October. August, October, November. So
right,
that resistance is now a support for you.
exactly. So for the stocks on NDX coming week, hold on from entering it. Watch, keep watching the stocks which you would like to enter for medium to long term perspective. And if you have already entered, it would be good time to watch to get at a price which could help you to average down, which will help in getting more profits once those stocks start taking uptrend. So along with NDX, last analyze SPY, and it is also on downtrend on the weekly chart. Again, support at around this 369.96, 370 could be a support, or if the market trend moves further down, then 351 could be support for SPY. And that's on weekly chart. As you can see, Williams R and CCI both are downward. So it's a clear indication that the stocks on SPY you could expect them to move further down. If we see daily chart, it's clear downward. On last session, it got pulled up from the mid Bollinger Band, but since the indicators are still downward, you could expect it to move further down. And this is the support we were discussing on, we saw on weekly chart. And let's see, click QQ, a similar trend like NDX, since most of the stocks are also on this index. So on downward, expect it to get support around 300. 300 could be a support. Let's quickly check on weekly chart. So it had reversed couple of weeks back from this point. Around 290, 293 could become a support this time if it continues further down. Williams R, CCI, these indicators confirming the downtrend, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions so far on indexes analysis before we go on to the stocks that are requested by our group members? If no questions, then we'll go on to the stocks.
Hi, Kamal. Yeah, I have a question. Like Monday, generally we see that it is green. Like the trend is generally upward, and from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it starts going down. So, don't you think that on Monday it would be on the uptrend slightly, and then from Tuesday, Wednesday, the sell-off would begin and towards the mid or the lower Bollinger?
I totally agree with you. Mondays are usually green, but since this Friday it formed a green candle, so Monday might be green or it could end up closing lower as well. Usually it follows 2 week cycle that Fridays are red Fridays. So this last Friday was green. So the coming Friday could be red, and the following Monday it is mostly green. But if Friday is green, it could end up being red. So if you see for NDX, since Friday it reached this 12,898, which is almost touching the mid Bollinger Band. So you could expect it open at around this level, around 12,900, and then start dropping down. We can confirm for TSX as well, just quickly. TSX, since the indicators are flat and the market has pulled up, Monday is indecisive, as I was saying. It can be either green or it can be red. But Tuesday, as you mentioned, Tuesday we can expect it to be red, the stocks
What
to
about
be.
TSX to a weekly chart?
Yeah.
Should be a doji. Exactly. It's a doji. A red doji on a weekly chart. So it's a week trend. It is flattening out. Your top Bollywood band is flattened out. It's a doji. And the indicators are also flattening down. So next week should be a red week if you ask me. And there also, if you take away 18,200, it will be an acute red week. It will be an acute fall after that. If 18,200 is removed, it's an acute fall after that.
So from
That
safer,
means
With,
18, if
with
it breaches
TX,
18,200, yeah, wait, tell me.
yeah, with the TSX, is it that it depends largely on the energy sector? Whether the if the energy sector performs better, TSX goes
To,
high. If
to be honest, I haven't seen the correlation of energy and TSX,
okay,
but looking at TSX independently, it's a doji week,
right, yeah,
almost at the top of itself. Can you convert it to a monthly chart
sure.
and zoom out so that you can get a larger preview? Is this a quite a periodical high, which it is? Bus. It's a periodic high. Right now, take it to weekly if you want. So if that is periodic high, and zoom in now. Now zoom in. All right. Now 2 consecutive months. If you run the monthly chart, there were green candles, and this also a weekly chart is showing it is at the peak of its lifetime high, if I'm not mistaken. So there would be a correction which is happening, and this being doji, red volume candles bigger than normal, doji candle, upper Bollinger Band curving down, indicators flattening. I would be careful with your using with entry into stocks now. So my suggestion would be very nimble footed here. If you find a correction happening, take your profits out.
Okay,
That
thank
is
you,
my
sir.
observation. Just be nimble footed and take your correction, take your money out of the table as much as you can.
Thank you, Vivek sir. And
Welcome.
even I have the similar opinion like Vivek sir mentioned. Okay, so let's move on to the stocks. So first we have BB BlackBerry, and the stocks that Denzel has requested, he would like to hold these stocks for long term. That's why he is interested in knowing the buy price, which can help him to get at lower price for holding for long term. So let's go on to daily chart. So on daily chart, it was on downtrend, and this mid Bollinger Band level of 13.43 acted as support for 2 consecutive sessions, and that's why Williams R and CCI both indicators have turned slightly upward. For those looking to enter for short term, they could still enter at this price of 13.45 for a small gain of $1.5. But those looking to enter for long term, it would be better to wait for the support price at $12. That could be support 1, and this 10.75 or 11 could be support 2, and 8.5 could be support 3. Let's take it on weekly chart. On weekly chart, it looks to have reversed from this mid Bollinger Band. The indicators on March 1st, it was showing in Williams R as oversold, but CCI still has some downward trend. So better to wait for it to reach this support price of around $12 to enter for long term. Vivek sir, would you suggest to wait further to get in around $6?
When you convert this to a monthly chart, then I'll give you my comment.
Sure.
And there's a reason why. I've already discussed with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give the same discussion, same thing to you. Now look at the monthly chart and zoom out. So you can see when you see a condensed, don't zoom in, zoom out. Reduce so that you can see a larger time frame. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's one solution. Right? Now look at the chart. Right from 2012, what is the rate? Come down. Come to your right. 2012. Further right. Yeah. Come down. Now what's the rate down?
So
What
it's
do you wait on first on January 12th?
it's uh, high is
15,
8,
16.
yeah,
Highest is 18. All right. Come now to mid of June of 12th. June 12th, 7, 8. Now the range has been right from 2012 till 2021. The range has been single digit dollar value.
yeah,
6, 8, 6, 8, 6, 10, 6, 9. It's just the last 3 or 4 months that you've seen the spurt. Last 1, 2, 3, 4 months only, right? Where you actually saw a spurt. Now, what was BlackBerry known for? BlackBerry was known for the mobile telephones that they were manufacturing. That was the strength that they were known for. What are they doing now? They are changing their line of business. They are into technology, but they're changing the line of business. So please treat this company now as a new entrant into the industry. And then don't look at the back end of the portion as to where this company was earlier, but look where the company has now grown and what is the future it has as a new entrant into this industry. So this only gives you a 5-month old or a 10-month old industry experience. Now try to analyze it. How will you look at this company as a new entrant into the industry?
yeah. Actually, this spike was because of Wall Street bets. Those members get bet.
Exactly,
Yes,
exactly. And they were all news driven.
yeah,
Now there is no more news driven news drivers for this stock. Where do you expect? When do you expect this stock to spike up? Why should it spike up? We have a lot of members in our group who are following this counter very carefully. It's a news driven counter. Now today, if I enter this script at 13 or even at 12, if it crashes down to 10 or 8 and does not climb up, who will be held responsible? So it's a risky counter to play on till they don't prove themselves. That's why I mean nothing against BlackBerry. Wish them very good luck. They were producing very good mobiles. I admire them for that. But now their business is changed. Their routine is changed. Look at it as a new entrant into a new technology sector, and then analyze it. Now convert this to a weekly chart, and you will realize what they are into. So your support is somewhere around 8. 8 would be your support where I would like to enter in ideally. Yes, 8 or 8.25. That's the point I would like to enter in. Over here, I'm comfortable at 8.25 or 8 or 9. I am very comfortable in entering this stock because then it will give me a bump up from 8 or 9. I'll expect a bump up to 15 or 16. I'm happy. I'm doubling the money. I'm happy. I don't have to wait for it to touch 40. So if you really must enter long term, if Denzel has to enter long term, my suggestion would be around 8.5, between 8.5 and 9 is your entry point. If you're looking for long term, if you're looking for short term gameplays, that becomes a different thing altogether. If you're looking for other supports, then the support is 1150 or 1175 or 12. All right, 12 also will be a good support to price.
Right.
1170 first support, and your target prices will be resistances. 1 second, R1, R2. Let's see your resistance. Yeah, 1750.
Yeah, this one, right?
1750. No, higher, 1750. $1 higher. Yeah, that's it. 17, 1770 it shows, 1730 it shows. Oh, showing 1770, right?
Yeah.
So 1770 would be the right, or 1765
Hmm. Would be the first support
first
and
support, first resistance.
first resistance.
And after that, of course, 25. After that is 25.
Okay.
The open of the red candle, big candle. Open of that, 25.
Okay.
2486 or 25.
Okay. Okay. Uh,
Pivot price. You want the pivot price also?
Maybe I'll calculate that pivot price later for all the stocks.
Yeah.
And for this, if we can just mention the stop losses, that would be good. So for support at 12, yeah, shall we?
975.
Okay, 9.
1075 on 975. 975.
Okay, and for next,
I'm taking a visual guess.
yeah, yeah, I was also referring to
Yeah.
this candle. So
Yes. This is 940.
yeah, so 975 was
So
open, so 950, little lower than.
yeah, 940 is the low. So 920 will be the stop loss.
Okay, and
940 was the low, so 920 will be the stop loss.
right, and for an entry at $8.
At entry at 8, I would not keep a stop loss at all. It's a long-term game plan, so why should I keep a stop loss?
Okay, okay.
At entry at 8, no stop loss because it's for long term.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
920. The 940 was the low earlier, so I'm keeping 20 cents lower.
Right.
Don't want my stop loss to get triggered.
Mm-hmm. So for long term, anyways, target would be 25.
Yes. First target will be 25 if you're buying at 8.5.
Yeah. So it would be
And the
close.
buying range is 8.8 and 9. Buying range is 8.5, 8 to 9.
Mhm.
Anything between 8 to 9 will be a good buying range.
So just for now, I'll mention that as pivot price for.
The long term will always be a buying range.
Yeah.
It cannot be a specific price.
Mhm. Okay. Thank you. So shall we move on to CGX, or any
Yeah.
questions for BlackBerry from anyone? So CGX. Let me know if someone is trying to draw something here. I can see something on the screen. I don't see.
Just remove the annotation, it will disappear.
No, it's not. Okay, right. Thank you, Exor. So next we'll go to CGX. It has reached its resistance. It is getting resistance at around close to $15, and Williams R is flat, CCI is downward, so you could expect in short term it can not a down, it doesn't look to go on downward trend, but as correction it might come down and find support close to 11.6 or 11.9. Since since Bollinger Bands are upward, overall trend you can expect it to move further up. But this correction would give a entry for someone who has, as we have already analyzed TSX, we expect it to move down. So CGX would be following that trend. From about 1 month, it has been trading on this sideways channel. It's 13.45 is the level on weekly chart. 11. So for entry for long term, Vivek sir, do you think this support can be good entry or further
At
move
11?
at 11?
No.
No?
At 10. At 10 or 8.5.
Okay.
I think the entry price, though company on the other call, but the entry price would be around 8.5.
Mhm.
A strong entry would be 8.5. But a disclaimer here, there's a gap to be filled in between 5 and 6.5. November second week gap has to be filled in.
But since
Between 5 and 6.5, that gap has to be filled in. If somebody remembers CGX, Cineplex, I think we have recommended this stock earlier at 4.8 or 4.85. I remember doing this trade myself,
right,
entering at 4.8 and exiting at around, I think, 8.5 or 9, if I'm not mistaken. I have talked about this earlier.
right. So for the price to cover this gap up, it might take little while as we are looking at the weekly chart.
Yes, yes, it will take a week, it will take some time.
So would it be
Because
worth?
if you look at it, the last 4 weeks, these are weekly candles, the last 4 weeks is actually distribution happening over here.
Mhm.
Yes, people are selling away at a point. For the last 4 weeks, at about 14 and a half, there is sale happening.
Yes,
There is the orders are getting filled in at about 14, 14 and a half for last 4 weeks, which is quite almost 20 working days or 20 trading days. These are all those big hands which had entered at around 4, 4.5, now liquidating at 14 and a half. Right?
right.
So this could be a correction as we are looking at Nasdaq correcting and we are looking at global COVID second wave. This could, any of these two triggers could trigger this down and bring it to about 10 or 8.5 or even 5. 10, 8.5 or even 5, or 4.5, not 4.5, but 5 definitely. So you should be ready with it. If it comes to 5, pick up truckloads because it's a very strong script. I remember when we had picked it up at 4.8, we had negative news in the market after we picked it up, and the stock still rallied upwards. Very strong assets, very strong books. So at 4.8 or 5, buy tons of it with no stop loss. So nibble first at about 10, then nibble at about 8, but buy tons of what you have at 4.5 or 5.
Yeah,
We're down to the last 1.5 minutes. Any questions anybody has? Can you convert this to a daily chart? I'll quickly analyze daily also for you.
sure.
Then we can shift to the next step. See, that's the way it shows. Now, if you can draw a box between 13 and a half or between 13 and 15, the box, say $2 box is being formed. That's it. Make it between,
Shall I make it this one little further up?
yeah, go take it up to 13. Because that will be a touch of 13.25 also. Yeah, that's 13.25. Yeah, that's it. 13.25 and 15.25. That is the box it is moving in and out. In case if this price shoots out from 15.25 and goes to 15.50 and closes above 15.25, conclusive close above 15.25, your next target is 17.50 straight away. So you could do a conditional buy in case if on closing basis he closes above 15.50. Your next target is 17.50 blindfoldedly. And if you look at it, Kamal, can you draw a line at 1750? A horizontal line at 1750?
Yeah,
You can know if we're touching 1750, 1750.
yeah, sure.
If it's resistance somewhere,
It's
1750.
it is at 18.
Come lower down.
There's at
That's it.
17.
17. And at 17, there is a gap down to be filled out.
Yeah,
So from almost from 17 to 20 to 50, it's a gap down to be filled in. So that means 1750 will also be taken out and it will become 20 to 50. 20 to 50. Higher up. Or 20.
this one.
This one. 20 50.
Yeah.
That's it. So if 1550 gets taken out, your next target is 1750 and 2050. Or 17 and 2050.
Yeah. And the first target as of now is 1525.
Yeah, first target is 1525, of course. No, that is the block size which is happening.
Right.
That is the height of all the candles over there.
So 15, 25, 17. um, I'm just putting long-term target because he's looking for long-term.
Don't put it 22, 22.50 or 20, whatever they put it.
20.5 as
20.5,
8.5 and
8.5 was support too.
yeah, support to 4.5 as
Sorry, 8.5, 8.5 and 5.
4, yeah,
4
5.
and 5. By 4 and 5.
Yes. Okay. And for 8.5 support would be around
Or even 13.30 or 13.25 could be a support to enter in now.
do you think it would be better to enter because we were seeing on weekly chart it can
It can fall down. I'm not saying no.
fall down. So
If it falls down, then the straight support is 10.50,
yeah,
10.
right. So for entry at 10, the stop loss would be
Entry at 10.5, the stop loss would be 7.75.
right.
Entry at 10, stop loss 7.75.
And do you want so target shall we make short-term target
Target is
would
for long term. Target is for long term.
yeah for short-term target would be the support or the resistance point
15.25 and 15.25, 17 and 20.25.
right. Okay,
25 target prices that you already have resistance 17 and 2025
that's
or
correct.
2050, yes.
Okay, any questions on
I'm
CGX?
surprised nobody's asked for banks. Any banks over here?
Do you want us to analyze any of the banks? We can
No,
do.
no, I'm just saying why nobody has asked for a bank. I'm surprised because they're all at their yearly highs.
Maybe that's the
And
reason.
you continue with our stock list. No, no, I've seen it. All banks are at the year highs.
Yeah, maybe that's the reason members
Which
have
are
not asked.
nobody bothered to ask for them. But if you look at very carefully,
Hmm.
have valid in the month from November only onwards. November onwards, they all have valid,
Yeah.
and they've given each one of them has given about 35 to 40% return. Every bank of on TSX, every bank without exception.
Since they are at their overbought position, maybe that's the reason we have not
Now they will sell
seen
down
a
here.
best. So that
Another disclaimer here: during the entire process, I've traded in two different banks, TD as well as
CM, Canadian Imperial.
I have traded. I've already finished my trade. I'm still holding only 50% of my Imperial.
Hmm.
I have 50% profit already out at 125.
Okay. And
Target is 133.
the volumes are high on green, and it can go up on next session as well.
At 125, it made me cry.
The
3 or 4 days patiently waiting for 125.
mhm. The volumes were high on last session, which means it
Yes,
can still move further up
it only indicates people are coming in.
for short-term gain.
Yes, right from November to here.
Mhm.
Want to look at the price in November?
So November it was 97. So even if
127.
yeah, even if someone has entered around 99 or 100, at what price did you get in, sir?
Me at CMP?
Hmm?
Just 1 second, I'll check that out now. I think I made a good amount of money in that year.
So even if entry around 108 or 110 would be $15 on this thing.
1 second, let me open up my Excel sheet. What price did I make my money on that? I made good money even on TD that way. And TD really flew off. I exited TD earlier.
Hmm.
Let's analyze the stocks which we have on hand here. 1 second. Where are we?
Sure. Just see.
All
TD
right.
also similar trends.
1 second. Imperial Bank, I entered at 108. I entered 108.5 on 4th of January.
Mm, on similar trend.
Much earlier. TD was much earlier. TD was 28th of October. I entered
Which was here,
at 58. Exact 58.
which would be this.
Came out
Yeah.
at 71.50.
You you got a very good entry, sir.
But this was discussed on the platform.
Yeah.
TD and CM both have discussed on the platform before entering. Much before entering.
Yeah. I remember.
But today, if you look at it at 71, I exited. Today it's at 82.
So you might have exited around this time.
71.50 was my actual price of exiting.
Yeah, 71.56 was the high on
I
23rd.
mean, 1 second. I have my dates with me. I don't mind sharing my dates also. TD I exited on 25th of November at 71.51. 25th November. And I entered on 28th of October.
Mhm.
And within a month, I exited.
So around $13 profit within a month on this 58,
Yes,
which is close to
a
one.
23% profit.
Right. Great. So now it has turned downward
Now,
indicators.
banks. Now I will wait for the correction to come. Possibly at my exit price, I will enter now
Right.
because that becomes my support now. That was my resistance previously. That is why we had exited.
Mhm.
That resistance been taken out. That becomes the support now. So I will now enter only at 71 or 70.50 or 70.75. 70.50 would be appropriate.
And that is in line with the TSX trend that we are expecting. So if all the banks start going down, TSX will obviously have a downward trend.
In case COVID second wave becomes strong, markets will find a reason to fall down.
Right. Great. So all the banks,
And those holding TD now, please see the last candle, the last volume candle is exceptionally large. So that means now distribution will start taking place. The big game players will start offloading their shares slowly, and the retail investors will start venturing in and buying it over here at above 80, 82. And after it falls below 81, the fall is straight up to 71. That $10 fall will comfortably come. And that is when the big game players will again enter in at 71 or wait for it to collapse further.
Yeah. So it's better to watch
Vivek's a
or
quick question.
yeah.
Sure.
Thoughts on CIBC as well, because as we are sharing about TD, so I have a good chunk of portion with CIBC. So regarding CIBC, do you think should I take profits, or because it's a
One second.
long term
Let
position?
me
Yeah,
let me see the script.
CM, right?
CM, yeah.
CM or CIBC?
So bank name is CIBC. Their ticker is
All right.
CM.
Imperial Bank, I've just told you I was holding this bank. I've sold at 125. My next target is 123 or 133. I'll exit my
Okay,
portfolio at 133. I've exited 50% of my portfolio already at 125. My next order has already been kept, limit order has already been kept at 133 for the balance 50% of my holding. So at
okay.
133, I'll exit completely. It all depends at what price did you enter in your stock.
I've been entering since 74, sir.
74.
Yeah.
So then what are you waiting for, my dear sir?
Okay. Yeah.
How much more profit do you want?
Yeah. No, I like it's not that entire portion.
You've been entering since 74. What was the last buy at?
So it's like I've been buying. Last buy was at 120.
At 120, also you are at almost 3% profit
Yeah.
of or 3.5% profit, and that must have been a recent buy.
Yeah. Very recent.
Exactly. So 133, if you can get rid of all your stock position. Actually,
All
just check
right.
out the quantum you have and what is the average price. What you have done is pyramiding it. You have pyramided your stocks. You kept adding to your profitable positions.
Yeah.
So that means your average purchase price has kept going up. Now,
Yes.
be very careful not to add any more further into it.
Okay.
Right? Don't add any more further. At 133, I would say take your profits out. Check
All right.
what
I
the
will.
check what the average is. If you see average is good enough, you're getting about 25-30% profit margin. Take
No, I'm
50.
actually. Yeah, I'm more than that. I'm making like 60%.
If you're making 60%, Akshay, I said don't be greedy. Leave something for the other traders also.
Yeah, no, I thought this is my long-term thing. I was very bullish on CM because I started buying since the COVID dip, because before that it was trading around 120, 122. So I knew like
Well,
it's just a matter of time. In a year or two, it will reach those levels. Now, because
very
it
true.
has surpassed those levels, and as you said about TD that it might come to 71, I'm like, okay, it is time that I should take at least some of my portion of it.
Yes, you should. As I've already said it openly on this platform just today also, I liquidated 50% of my CM at 125. And at 125, this script made me cry for 3 full days and did not let me sell at 125. It was touching 125, it was not filling in my order.
Okay.
And then I dropped my rate from 125 to 124.99. It made me wait for one more day and then it filled my order. And then immediately it shot to 125.78.
Yeah.
If I remember my figures right, 125.78 or 126.
Yeah.
And 126.20, yes.
Nice. Thank you, sir.
So that is the way I look at it. I take some money out of my profits. I say thank you very much. Leave something on table for the other hand to come in. Otherwise, the retailer will feel very, very let down if he cannot make his money. Right?
Yes.
So, congratulations on a good buy and a good trade.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Welcome.
Congratulations, and it's time to cash on profit and use that to buy it again at cheaper price.
Yeah, yes, come on.
Good. Okay, so we'll continue with our analysis of the stocks that are requested. We'll go to AC Air Canada. It is one of the,
Canada is also something similar to all the banks.
yes, it is one of the stocks that we have analyzed the most in our sessions.
Again, which we have traded also. I have traded the stock also.
Yeah, I had traded last year April and May, and then since it was not moving much that time, I came out of it. So since Feb, it took uptrend, and on 15th March, it was at its resistance, and since then it has taken downward. On last session at mid Bollinger Band, it has found a support, and Williams R has flattened. CCI has also flattened. So this might become a support for it to continue further. It would be good to watch on on Monday and Tuesday how it trades. If it still retains this support, it which it looks from the last session, because it had dropped below and then got pulled up and closed around this 2768. So this might become a support for it to move further. Let's quickly see how it looks on the weekly chart. Mm, on weekly chart, it is weak. Williams R and CCI has turned downward. This same support, this resistance which became support for last week, but Williams R and CCI are showing weakness. Although mid Bollinger Band and lower Bollinger Band are upward, it might correct as
When
TSS.
weakness first sets in, the upper Bollinger Band will curve in first, curve down first.
Yeah,
Upper Bollinger Band, if it becomes flat, it is the first indication that there is exhaustion coming in the movement. A slight correction is expected. Then the mid Bollinger Band will curve down, and then the last to curve down will be the lower Bollinger Band. When lower Bollinger Band curves down, it's a clear indication that the market is now turned and is going to go down. When it has to curve downwards, when the correction has to settle back. Now here the upper Bollinger Band has turned flattened and given you a very strong big green body candle, almost covering the previous candle.
the big red candle.
Yes. And that closed almost at the resistance, at the previous resistance,
Yes,
which was exactly the high of this 2780 was the high. And you look at the close of the last candle, 2780 was the high there. What is the close here?
exactly at the same.
69, 2770. So you see the difference? There's hardly any much. The yes. So which is why the indication is that it will correct down. Now club this with the idea of TSX, club this with the second COVID wave, and you can know what's going to happen.
Yes. So it would be
And
better to wait.
20 or even 15 would be very easily possible. A 20 would be the first support,
Right.
and 15 would be the second support. If you're buying at 14.50 or 15, I will not put a stop loss at all.
Mhm.
But you could buy at 20 also, or at 20.50, whatever you decide.
20, 15.
20.20, 15.
Actually, it was at its resistance of this close to
Exactly.
30. So it reached its resistance and then it has started going down. And
Very
the
true.
that can be the first resistance, and for those who want to hold it for long
30 will
term,
be the first one.
yeah,
30, 30, 45,
30, 45, this one.
55.
Okay,
30 to 45, 45, and then 50 or 53.
51 now. Okay,
51, that's all right. 30, 45, 51.
yeah. I think it's better to wait for it to fall down. Do you?
Yes. You could nibble at 20 comfortably.
Right.
At 20 or 18, at 1970, you can comfortably nibble.
Yeah. And for that, the stop loss can be $18, $2 or less than that,
For 20, you can give a stop loss at
70.
18.
Just
750
one
is
dollar
fine.
$1 less than the lower Bollinger Band in case it comes
Yes.
up to 17 and then moves up. So I would say
Yes.
$16 as the stop loss if entry.
1650.
1650, right? For an entry at
Vivek sir,
20.2.
Yeah. Yes, Mohit.
I'm good sir. HR instead of Air Canada. It's
That's all right. That's all right.
it
That's also
mimics
good.
the Air Canada's movement or even
Exactly.
faster.
Exactly. That way, so it's also good. And if you look at CHR, it's even more dangerous than in Canada. Look at the last candle. It actually engulfs this entire green candle. It and gone goes further down.
Yeah.
It's an indication if you're holding it, hold it with
I'm
stop trading stop loss.
I'm holding it. I have average price around 380.
380.
Yeah,
So we are still in profit of around
roughly
$1.
around 21-22% profit, roughly around that.
Yeah.
Mohit, but don't be so greedy here. You could have taken it out of you did not take it out at 5. At 5:30 you did not take it out.
Yeah, because when I looked at it, it shows target. One second, I'll show you. It shows roughly around target of around
5 point,
to go around 6, 5.25 to
yes.
6.
So
That's why.
Mohit, my suggestion to you would be put a limit sell order at 5.2.
अच्छा
लिमिट सेल 5.2 करके बेच के निकल जाए, 5.25 बेच के निकल जाए.
ठीक है सर ठीक
Because इसलिए why am I telling this to you? Because of COVID second wave only, nothing else.
yeah yeah yeah
And if
right
you look at the daily chart, the last candle is a bullish chart. Last candle bullish chart. It completely encompasses the previous candle. including the VIX, and there is a gap down between 5 and 4.75, which
Yeah.
happened just 3 days earlier. If that gap gets filled in now because of the bullish candle on Monday, 520, 540 could easily be achieved. 520, 525 can easily be achieved.
Yeah, मैं 525 रख दूंगा टारगेट निकल जाऊँ.
So 525 पे you will be making a good 30% plus.
हाँ.
ठीक है यार 30. What more do you want for 30%? Since when are you holding it?
हाँ.
How many
I'll tell you exactly since when I'm holding it. CHR I'm holding.
data purchase?
हाँ, bigger. It's a bigger purchase. Yeah, a lot
So
अच्छा नहीं है.
what's the data purchase?
Date of purchase by CHR by CHR.
Have you yet बोल दे we know the dates.
3.4, right?
It's yeah. I bought it. I bought it December around end of December. December 30th.
Oh, December 30th is January first week.
Yeah.
January first week
January
is like
first week. Yeah, December 30th.
2.5
January
Yeah.
first
months.
week. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Two
December
and a half
30th.
months is 8, 9 weeks. Nine plus 3. 2 weeks. Yeah, 30% is more than good enough.
Yeah. सही है.
30% is good यार. पार्टी करो.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
आप आते नहीं ना, तो ज्यादा मजा
मैं
आएगा
आऊंगा
साथ में.
फिर सब पार्टी एक साथ ही लूंगा. ठीक है, पार्टी वन शॉट.
बिल्कुल सर, आपको एयरपोर्ट
ओके
से ही
सर.
पकड़ेंगे हम लोग. एंड जस्ट माय
आ रहा
ट्रिक्स.
हूँ जल्दी आ रहा हूँ.
बिल्कुल सर, आप आइए. इवन
थैंक यू सर. थैंक यू.
वेलकम मोहित. मोहित कंग्रेचुलेशन. गुड परचेज.
थैंक यू सर. थैंक यू. अभी एक दो चार और भी है पोर्टफोलियो में. आई सी कब मैं सोच रहा हूँ निकल जाऊँ. ऑयल वगैरह से भी निकल जाऊँ. आई एम बीइंग टू ग्रीडी विद ऑयल एज वेल.
If you are in profit, get out.
हाँ.
yeah, and
Oil. I also will get out.
even I personally
It's
prefer
like
CHR over Air Canada because you get at lower price and you can
That's lower
buy more
price.
quantity.
चलो, my
And
purchase has been certified now.
yes.
If Kamal is buying, that means it's certified.
And Vivek sir has confirmed that it's a good trade.
See, it will rally when Vivek sir will board a flight to Canada.
Unfortunately,
Great.
I have to fly to Europe or fly to UK to pick it up. If it flies there also, I don't know.
Sir, whenever you mention that it will fly, and in the next week it will start taking off.
ठीक है, कर लेते हैं.
Okay.
I'm keeping a track of banks and airlines now. Waiting for the second wave of COVID to help me to enter again.
Yes, sir. With this
Because
TSX.
in the next dip, your entry is going to be in banks, your entry is going to be airlines, your entry is going to be Shopify and Goose.
Okay. Yep. Right. So let's move on further. So we will go to Asif.
Uh,
Sorry. Anything? Mohit, you were saying something?
Sorry?
Were you saying something?
What is? No. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
Great. So let's go to ENB and Ridge. This is requested by Asif. As we had discussed last week, it was at its resistance and then it has started going down. On last session it has turned up because of the Williams R and CCI has moved up because of this green candle on the last session, indicating that this price of 44.84, which is becoming a support. If we see here, it was resistance at around 20th of January. Although the uptrend from here is not huge. Let's see on weekly chart whether it can move further. How further up can it go?
We had already made the box last time.
Yeah. So if it breaks this resistance at around 44.9, then the next box would be 56 is what we discussed last week.
Yes.
And that still holds. So this downtrend which we saw here, if it continues going further up, it's expected to break this resistance at around 45.83, and if it does that, the next resistance is about $20 above is what we had discussed, or $10. So that would be a good entry point if it breaks this resistance. So it would be good to watch this week. If it is green on Monday and on around Tuesday or Wednesday, if it manages to break this resistance of 44.83, if it reaches 46, maybe it would be worth to get in for those thinking to hold for medium to long term for the next target of 56. But in general, since we analyze TSX, and TSX can take downward trend along with Henry chart, it would be worth to see how energy sector is moving. This
Just keep this chart as it is.
Mhm.
The upper Bollinger, mid Bollinger, and lower Bollinger. They've curved up.
Right.
They curved up. Even with the distribution happening in the last 6 or 7 days. So about 2 weeks the distribution was happening, but still the Bollinger Band has curved up. 7 days of distribution, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 days of distribution, and the Bollinger Band is still curved up with a very strong green candle in terms of volume. The out the breakout is expected next week, 110%. 110%. Even today, the last closing is for the day is what? 45.35, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you are an aggressive trader, buy with the day's stop low as the stop loss. Low is 44.62. So buy with a stop loss of about 44. Whatever open price, buy with a low of 44 for a higher target. So you take a $1.5 stop loss, target is whatever you decide to open up, it will cross 56 comfortably, 46 comfortably. My, Because I personally feel it will cross. Though TSX is showing something else, I don't know why the gut immediately says something else.
Yeah, looking at this chart for Enrich, it seems it might not follow the TSX trend, and it could still break this resistance which we have
When you
discussed.
convert this to a weekly chart, then this will move better. What are we weekly saying? That's it.
We are at this resistance.
Now, watch the weekly chart. This week, it opened above the close of the previous week and closed at the close of the previous week. That is why it's a red dojo, a red candle. It opened above the close of the previous week. It closed at the close of the previous week. What was the close of the previous week?
The close
Yeah,
was
it was 45.43. And what is the open of this week? I can't see the open. But the close is 45.35,
Open is 45.51.
45.51. So it is higher than the close of the previous week, and even the close is at the close of the previous week. That means the market did not let it fall, even if it's a red candle, red volume candle. They did not go previous the close. That indicates strength coming in. Number one. Number two, how many times when I touch 45.87 or 40 that red line you have touched? One, two, three. Three times. So the fourth week it will come back with vengeance and take it out.
If we see volume on the last session, the green volume,
High.
it's high.
It is high. Almost double.
Yes,
Right?
yes, yes.
Back to the weekly chart for a second again, because we only have a minute left, so I'll just finish up MBs again for them. I've seen something in the weekly chart. All right. Now, what is the low of the last week? This week, current week,
Current
current
week,
last candle. Yeah, the 44.62. What is the stop loss I've just told you?
44.5. No, 40.
So, so the low, that means you're keeping the weekly low as your stop loss.
Yes,
44.50 is your weekly low stop loss. 44.50, and your target is wherever you want.
right.
56. But you can expect that target in the span of about 2.5 to 3 months. So a 20% return in about 2 to 3 months.
Very true.
Now take it on a daily chart and you see the same thing. Because it takes about 9 weeks to climb up.
Mhm.
Now,
Yes, Vivek sir.
you continue, keep filling it up. I'm done.
Great. So it's a stock which we can enter this week. Even Monday could be good entry. So Vivek, you had mentioned about green on Monday. This stock we could watch to enter.
Also, the stock has taken support at 20-day EMA,
Yeah,
which is 44.80.
right. Okay, moving further. SU, I think SU would be similar. It had a big red candle on Thursday and then again got support at this mid Bollinger Band of 220, no, sorry, 27.2. Williams RCCI has turned up because of that green candle on the last session. If we see weekly chart, there's a red candle which is supported by Williams R and CCI downward. Though the mid Bollinger Band and lower Bollinger Band are up, you can see some correction for SU, and this price of 24 may become support before it moves further up. 24 or 21.5.
21.30.
Yeah, 21.30.
21.30.
Do you think we should suggest 23.95 or 24 as the support for entry, or wait for 21? 21 point.
I think 21.30 would be better appropriate place to buy.
Okay.
But Suncor is quite different than the Enbridge. It's a definite sell over here.
Right.
That red Maribazu candle is a clear indication of going down.
Okay, so 21.
Now 21.30 would definitely be a buy.
There's no uh, stop loss needed at that price. Do we need stop loss? Yeah, we maybe
Because
$2.
you other target is 1480. So about 1850 would be a good.
1850 would be a good stop loss, and then for entry at $15, there's no need for stop loss.
Long term entry at $50, there will not be a stop loss.
Right. And for this, stop loss at 18.5, and we can say the long term target would be 45, but for short term, again
29.
29.545, better
29.
29.
29 would be better.
Okay.
Message trade for only half a dollar.
Right. Okay, next we had already mentioned 44.9, 44.8, I believe.
29 and 44.75.
Okay. So first support, I think we mentioned 21.3. Let's repeat it again. SLF, this is new stock. I haven't analyzed SLF before. Oh, Sun Life. We have this before. It's on uptrend on the weekly chart. On Williams R CCI, it's in overbought position. CCI has flattened slightly downward. The volumes have reduced, which at least on weekly charts shows slight weakness. On daily chart, there was high volume with green candle and almost Maribazu candle. So on Monday, we can expect it to be green, and a target of 64.65 it can touch. Here it was 65.37. Though on weekly chart it has turned downward, but for one or two sessions this week at the
Let's
start,
go in the weekly chart. Let's see. Let's see the weekly chart also. It's turned downward.
this
No.
CCI has flattened. It
It's
has,
flattened out, huh? It's flattened out,
but it's in
but it's
overbought.
a, it's a, it's a continuation trend up.
So you still
The
feel this week
hammer
there will
on
be.
top,
Hmm.
the hammer on top is still a continuation trend.
Okay.
Had it been the reverse, then it will be a reversal image.
What I was expecting is it might go further up, and then towards
Uh,
the close of the week it might start dropping because
it might taper down. Yes,
yeah.
to the agree to what you say. Go slightly up further, but there is not much left for it to go up.
Right.
Can you take a monthly chart and see also the monthly chart showing
On monthly chart, it has at the
same thing? It's reaching a lifetime high. The
yes.
lifetime is like that red candle in the thing in 2020. This one, which was 66.44. Where are you currently?
64.73.
So how much space you have left? Don't even think of entering the trade. If you have entered the trade already, time to get out. So
Exactly.
possibly at 64.25 or 66.25, you should be exiting at the high of that previous high. Red candle high in
In
this one,
Feb 26.
66.44. So at 66.20 or 66, you should be exiting if you're already holding the stock.
Absolutely.
Or at least if you're holding it since a long time, take partial profits out at 66.25.
Very true.
Secure your principal and then play with the free fund.
That's why even on daily chart, I was expecting that it might move further up
Yeah,
in
I
at the start
agree.
of the week and then fall
Yeah,
back.
now I agree with you because we have seen the three different time frames. We have seen daily, weekly, and monthly,
Hmm.
and we realized the 66 is going to be exhaustion levels.
Correct.
So another 3% up because you're talking about $2 movement is 3% up from here, and you will get exhaustion completely.
Hmm. Right. Okay, so we'll say target of 66 and time to exit this week.
Profits of at least 50 principal amount, secure the principal amount out.
Yeah. Okay. And for re-entry, just let me quickly check if I think it's better to wait for its correction, and it might,
So re-entry, yes,
yeah, it might take few weeks before it is at its support for entry,
50. All right,
right? 60 as the
50 or
59.
55, 59 or 55
Mm-hmm.
with a top of 51.
Okay.
Yeah, 55 with a stop of 51.
Mm-hmm. Great. So we'll go to next stock, which is PPL. Any questions so far?
Guys, keep quizzing. That's the only way you will learn.
And Vivek sir is here to answer and justify.
We all will get that answer. At least you will learn why we are saying so. We could be wrong. It's all a game of probability. That is why Kamal and me will always can sometimes give you conflicting views on the same script.
Okay. So since there are no questions, we'll continue further with PPL. And PPL this week was on downtrend, though it formed a green candle with high volume. The Williams R and CCI have turned up. We can expect it this week. I was looking at the weekly chart before and felt as if it got a resistance here at 38.29 or 38.29. Yes. Even Williams R and CCI was showing weakness on the weekly chart, but since it has a gap down which it needs to fill, it would be worth to wait for it to fall down and then get in. Weekly chart is showing weakness. Vivek sir, do you think it can reverse from here from daily chart? Both Williams R, CCI and Bollinger Band, they are up, whereas on the weekly chart it looks downward.
A slight uptick, possibly only up to 38.25,
Mhm. Again at this level, the
38.50, 38.30. Yeah, that's it. That's the uptick possible up to there, and then it will reverse down back.
right.
Because that is the, if you on the long term chart, if you zoom out,
Mhm.
you will realize that is the resistance happening at 38.50 or 38.30.
Right. Yeah. Here.
38.50 was the resistance.
Correct. So it might
And
take a.
almost it took 6 months or 9 months to come to the same level again.
Mhm.
From this time and touch this place. So the strength in the stock is not that much. It's a long phase of consolidation. 9 months of long consolidation to come back to the same level.
So
It all depends whether is he holding it for long or not, or since what is his buying price.
mm, it's not mentioned. So assuming if he is holding, it would be good to exit at 38.30 or
38,
38.25.
30, yeah,
And
38, 30, 38, 50, good price to exit out.
right, and then wait for it to correct and price for
Yeah,
re-entry.
correction could be around
This support at 33.
32, 32 also, 32.25.
Okay,
Yeah, that's it.
with a stop of
32.25 with a stop of
29.
29.
Sorry. Okay.
That's a big stop loss. $3 stop loss. Not happy.
Kamal, if you check the CCI and the RSI trend on that,
Mm-hmm.
it is clearly showing a downward trend.
On the weekly chart, yes.
Go to the daily chart. Go to the daily chart. Yeah, and check again lower lows. Lower highs. It is forming. So,
Yes,
so
yes,
it is high probability that it will go have a
it
downward
will go
trend.
further down.
So it's better to have a stop loss at around the closing, not the closing, the opening price of that day, and then check. If it goes high, you rightly say that 38 would be the exit. And if it doesn't hit the stop loss, that's good.
Mm, very correct.
Yes, I think I'll concur with him.
Yeah.
Well, it's lower highs on a daily basis and lower lows. Just the last candle has slightly reversed it, but that is all right. The trend, weekly trend is still indicating lower highs, lower lows.
Very true.
Possibly you can keep the low of the red candle
Mm-hmm.
as stop loss if you're holding it. That's 36.50.
36.5. Yeah.
So you keep 36.51 as a stop loss if you're holding it, and keep a sell order at 38.30 or 38.25.
Right.
So that at least you don't lose your profits out. Because you see, it is alternating between red and green on the full week. You will alternating
Mm-hmm.
red, red, green, red, green. So by that logic, Monday should be red. But the volume candle does not indicate that thing. It indicates on the green tick upwards. So because we gave a green tick up, I will keep my sell order at 38.25 and try and liquidate and get out.
Right.
So that means I'm expecting a $1 jump. That's a 3% jump from the last close. Sometime, and if you have a good profit, at least take a capital out and keep the remaining as free stocks.
Okay. Thanks, Vivek and Vivek sir. That,
Yeah, that is a very good observation, I must say.
yeah. Thanks, Vivek. Stop
That is
loss.
why we say it's good because you will make us also realize where we could have also messed up.
Exactly.
Thank you, Vivek.
Yeah,
Thank you,
welcome,
Vivek.
sir.
Yeah.
Learning from you people.
No, no, it's all good. It's all collective learning.
Yeah, it was very.
That's what we are.
It was really good. Thanks. And
I
this.
think you mentioned MTRX instead of PPL. In your sheet, you have entered it as MTRX.
This is PPL. Sorry.
Ah,
Yeah, this is PPL.
okay, that is PPL. I was thinking, how did you fill up MTRX earlier? Oh, that, okay, you must have analyzed it early. Okay.
Okay. And oh, I think you are also right. These values are for entry. And for entry, this would be the stop loss.
Yes. Good, no?
38.25 is the target, 36.50 is the stop loss for
Ah,
those holding.
stop loss for the current holding, if you're holding it, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we'll go to MTRX and we have our expert Tahir joining us.
Yes.
Hi
Oh,
Tahir.
Hi guys. Hello. Good
Hi,
morning. Good
Tahir.
afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Me, it's morning still.
Oh, for you, it's morning, sorry.
Yep.
It will be just becoming noon now. It's 2:42 in Toronto.
11:42 here in my place. Okay,
So
guys. MTRX weekly. Can I go forward with MTRX, Kamal?
yeah, sure. Do you
Yeah, go
want me to
ahead.
give remote control or
Yeah, I need the control.
yeah.
Seems to be moving in along with this channel, and if we can see, it is number one, it's moving downward channel, and it is higher end of the channel, so we need to wait for this breakout. If channel breakout is there, that could be the entry point for this stock. Let's talk about the horizontal support. We have discussed the vertical channel. Now let's see where the horizontal support lies, because that can be a point, a breakout point from where it can go up. So this was the previous turning point for this stock. Look here. This is on the closing basis. Okay, this one time and two time. From here, it bounced back for like couple of weeks, and it went up and hit the upper end of the range. And number two, here there was a wick here, just a wick. It's not very authentic, but still it can be treated as a support. I would say S1 a weak support for this, and S2 is already there down at 1.38. So what should be looking for? And the other one is your RSI is also reaching almost close to the lower band, although it's still at the middle side, but the lower one is also like pretty close. So what I say in here is just wait for this breakout for the upper channel, uh, this upper trend line. If there is a breakout, it can easily go up to the first levels of this could be the first level, and then the second level where it might face a little resistance will be this one. So these could be the two resistances, two supports, and again the confirmation is very important. If there is a breakout from this channel, it gives a breakout, then it will be grow up quickly, I would say. Or if it stays still here within the same channel, respecting the same trend, same flow, then you will see this one to be at the lower end of the CCI, and might even continue the same support and fall back again along the lower trend line. So strategy should be wait for the confirmation, gives breakout, take an entry for the next target level for the next target level, which will be your R1 as well. Or if it stays the same, wait until it gives a breakout. Or the other one, it falls below and comes towards the lower end of this range, then again you have to wait for this stock to take an upside move in a similar way it took from here. Like it was trading on the higher side of the range, fell down again here to the lower end. Let's assume this line was not here at that time, and we are at the 5th of November here on this date, 5th November. So we are here, so we draw a line here. So it extended it further a little bit. Stock fell down again, honored this support, the vertical support, and then went back again to the upper end. Here, now the different thing is it is moving along with this upper end of the range. So there is a selling pressure here. Whenever it tries this level, it falls back. It's not able to to break this out. So either it gives a break or falls back again. Similar way, it gave a breakout from here till here, and then when it starts moving upward again towards the upper end of the range after giving confirmation, that could be again the entry point. But for this, you have to wait maybe for like 3 4 further sessions. So yeah, Kamal, anything you want to add here? Kamal, Vivek?
No, I think
I agree with you,
just
Vivek.
that I think your entry point currently at 1.6 for a fresh trade or breakout at 1.6 or
Yeah,
1.65 would be a very good target of 1.82. That's almost
ex-
20 cents. That's very good target price.
yeah, exactly, and will be achieved very quickly, because whenever there's a breakout,
Yes,
you can see it will be supported by high volumes.
yes.
There's a breakout, volume is high, so the momentum will be like strong. So you can have a quick earning, but don't wait for a long one. You waiting for the R3 very high or unrealistic. I would say unrealistic profit target. It's gonna take time and may bounce back again.
I think in this case, if you're entering at 160, 160, 1.62, it should be your exhaustion completely. Get out of it completely at 1.8 only. Don't
Yeah,
even do. Get out at
exactly.
1.
1.62 after confirmation and 1.82. Yeah, at least 50%. 1.82 should be gone.
I mean, as a trader in this penny stock, I would not wait for more.
Yep.
1.8 is more than sufficient. 20 cents,
Exactly.
good enough.
If we talk about the green days last only for two times, 2 days, and most of the times
Exactly.
red days. Look here, green days, red, red, one green day, red, red, indifferent, red, one, okay, red, one, red, one, I don't know, red, maybe, but the
Yeah.
different, the
Yeah,
different thing here is it's still flowing along the upper channel, not coming down.
Or
We need
otherwise, if you are buying at 1.4 or 1.42, it's a strong support to buy.
1.42. Okay, this one is,
1.42 or 1.4 would be a very strong support to buy
yep,
for a target of 1.8. That could,
yeah.
but that would be a few weeks.
Yeah, but for that 1.42, if you buying at that support, then your first resistance will be the current one, 1.65.
1.6, yeah.
Yeah, that will be the
It's
first
a
point you
$20,
consider.
20-cent movement, 20-cent target.
Yep, yep. So it could be like around
Tahir, we can't hear you.
yep. Do you want me to close this window? Let me close and minimize this. Tahir, are you able to control? We can't hear Tahir. Tahir, could you please unmute? Let me unmute Tahir. Seems Tahir, we can't hear you. Could you please unmute?
yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Kamal, yeah, I was not able to find that option, the Zoom control option. It was not allowing me to go there.
Hmm.
So yeah, I was unmute. I knew it.
Okay.
Okay, I think yeah, we are good with these targets, and we can move on to
Yeah.
the next if no one has a question on it. Okay, what's the next
Yep,
one? Come
this
on.
is good. Yeah. So next one we can take LTE from our next member request, which is from Ayaz. Or let's complete AQN and then go to LTE.
5% more due to averaging out 0.32 now, though I have great confidence in this company's bank suggestion. Okay. 85% portfolio due to averaging out, very good ARs. Why 85%? It should be 100% or more than that even. Okay, let's go back.
Yeah, this is the next step.
Okay, so LTE. Let's start with LTE. LTE seems to be in a consolidation phase on a daily basis. It actually moved sideways for almost like 2 weeks time, and I think I'm not able to control it properly. I'm moving this trend line for a time being. Okay, what I'm trying to say is it's moving sideways for like almost like three or more than three sessions, and the next target for this should be the immediate target that is coming in that I can see is this one, which is just above this level of the mid Bollinger Band. So 0.31, this is the point where it tried a couple of times, one time, two times here, three, four times. So four times it tried to break, but it wasn't able to break this channel, this resistance. So if it is broken, this is considered as the R1. If this is broken, the next level should be above that, which is your 0.375, I would say. This is the next level, and the downside is currently it's like in a consolidation phase. The current price is 0.28 is the downside of this, because it's a bottom of the consolidation. I would say the lower channel of the consolidation phase, this price currently, which it is currently at. Okay, so this is S1, and the S2 is below this, where it formed a wick. So this can be considered as S2. This can be considered as S2, and R1.315, R2 is 0.385 is my R2. And as far as the prospects are concerned, the breaking out of this channel, this consolidation channel, it will depend upon the volumes. The volumes are considerably low. So if you see a spike in volume at any day, that will be the point that it can trigger the breakout. Otherwise, it doesn't seem to breaking out in the near future unless we have some good news on that. It fell down because of the news of its UK operations were shut down previously, and it fell down very sharply. So I think there is some gap here as well. So if this one is broken, yeah, so do you have a gap as well, so it can easily fill out this gap which it has already opened. But when it's going to fill out, that's too early to decide. Actually, we can't comment on that when it will happen, but for sure, yes, it will happen. So hold on to it for some time. Don't end up losing your money in using your money by selling it out, because it's not going anywhere below 0.28, because it's already at its bottom levels, bottom prices. And previously it went below like at 0.14, 0.15 thing, but it recovered quickly from that, and now it's consolidating. Whenever the consolidation is done, you have like two outcomes: either it will go down or it will go up. The chances from here to go up are more after a long consolidation phase. So I would say just stick to it, hold on to it, and then wait if you can get your target levels in this stock. Okay, yeah. Anything else, Kamal Vivek, you want to mention here?
Even I was going to suggest to hold, which you have rightly
Yeah, hold. The strategy
mentioned.
should be hold. It's like 85% of the said person's portfolio. So yeah, hold on to it.
Yeah,
It will recover, but it will gonna take little time.
exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I think Kamal, you can go on and we can share, me and we can share our reviews while you are sharing and presenting your screen. Because from my side, it's going so slow.
Okay. Is it still slow in controlling?
Yeah, it's quite slow. So you can go ahead and we'll share our views.
Okay. So I'll go on to the next stock. We'll take PTQ. Can you try again if the control is better now?
No, you PTQ. Okay, we are already at PTQ. Okay, seems little better. Let me try this PTQ and then analyze. Okay, PTQ, uptrend, downtrend, and now again the consolidation one. So PTQ consolidating at these levels. Where is PTQ parallel channel? Okay, this is the consolidation for PTQ. So let's talk about a target. What could be a target in case of a breakout? If it gives a breakout, our next target shall be this one. 2.3 shall be our next target in case of a upside breakout, or if there is a downward breakout, the target shall be when it reaches there. Okay, these could be the expected levels. Yep, this can be a breakout for this. Let me extend this line till backward. Okay. Yep. Okay, fine. So downside could be 1.71. This could be the support too. There can be another support at this point in time. Let me draw another one here. This one I'm talking about. This could be a weaker one though, S1, and then actually this should be S2 and bottom is S3. S1 lies here at the lower end of this channel. So this one is the support one, support to 1.78. Let me draw a line here for the S1 as well. Exactly at this channel, I'm considering this on the closing basis. 1.94 S1, 1.78 S2, and 1.7 is the S3. The target profit here is 2.3, which is the R2, because R1 will be again the same 2.07, which is the upper channel of upper end of this parallel channel, which is R1, R2, 2.3. So whenever there's a consolidation, you see the length of this consolidation, and then you take out your target profits and your stop losses and the support levels. So it gives a good indication as well. So if, as you can see, what I have done is taken the length of this and extrapolated it to the next highest level, and it is also honored through the vertical line as well. You can see this vertical line seems to be the resistance level, and the same we have calculated from the other consolidation technique as well. So 2.3 has been confirmed from two different sources, so we can watch out for the breakout for the target profit of 2.3. But for this you have to wait until it gives the consolidation. As I discussed previously, either it can go up or down. Up 2.3, down 1.78 after the consolidation phase is gone. Now how you can see, well, it tried like a couple of times to come out of this channel, but it didn't succeed to go out. So when could be the point when it is like more likely to come out of this parallel channel will be determined by the volume, as I always mention. So last day also the volumes were higher than, I would say, the previous week's volume. And now the next day's volume, you need to consider if it's going up. The volumes are like being maintained at the current level. So the yesterday's session, it will trigger outbreak from here, and you can take an entry after the outbreak, or if it is closing it near the or if it is breaking, you can take a risk and enter it before it gives a breakout, but that's not recommended. So always wait for 1 day confirmation. Sometimes it also happened that you noted that it is okay, it was a breakout, but then the next day it fell back again. So it also happens, and that is normally considered in technical terms a false breakout. So recommended approach is to wait for 1 day gain confirmation, and after that deal with it. You can take an entry on that. Yeah, Vivek and Kamal, anything you want to mention here?
I think that's good enough.
Okay, that's cool then.
You've covered
Okay,
everything, every point.
okay, great. So let's move on to the next.
Tahir, I have a
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
Like, when do we use Fibonacci retracement? Like, what is the ideal condition? Because I've seen you using it frequently during your
Mm-hmm.
analysis.
Mm-hmm.
So, when is the right time to actually use Fibonacci?
You can use any time you want. That's not a big deal. We can apply it here as well. Let's see what it shows.
Okay.
So it's all depends upon your creativity and your way of looking at the things that can be different from one person to another, and then you come up with your views and your target profits and stop losses, and you corroborate that through other indicators as well. For example, I got some values from here, then I'm applying the Fibonacci ratio, or I apply some other indicators, and then I form my collective view. So that's a view you're looking for. You can apply the Fibonacci here as well, because Fibonacci will give you the support and resistance. You don't have to draw it manually. It will give you your required supports and resistances. I'm taking it from here to the highest level. I might have to extend these lines, which I'm not currently doing it, but I'm just telling you. So we are here at 0.51. Okay, so 2.21 here. Okay, and 1.8, we are at this channel right now at this place. 2.02, which is very close to our target, our support levels. And the target, if you see, the first target as given by the Fibonacci is 2.21, ours is 2.3, like very close enough, because we have already taken the supports and resistance manually. You can take the support resistances from the Fibonacci retracement as well. So the accuracy of this will depend upon how accurately you connected the lows and the highs. Did you connected the wicks, or you connected the body? So it all depends upon your way of doing the things and how sharply you did that. So here, since I have a little small screen, I cannot see it very clearly. It should be a little above here.
Maybe you can close this Williams R and CCI. We can add those indicators later.
Yeah, maybe, but I think we okay. So if I did little bit more cleaner. Okay, Yeah, it's pretty much the same, which we are discussing through manual support, manual horizontal support lines and resistance lines. So it's the same. So your answer to your question is you can use it whenever you see there is an uptrend or a downtrend. If it is like moving sideways, so it won't give you like a bigger picture, I would say. So till here it was like a good, and it then moved sideways. Sideways is not when I mean the trend. So there should be a trend from the bottom. There should be one bottom of the candle, and there's some higher candle as well, where we can see there are few. But if any stock is moving only like sideways, for example, if we were till here, 22nd December. So I can't see from standing at 22nd December. Uh, the retracement will be very less because the high and low are like very close. So these are the few points that you need to consider. Okay, yeah, I think we are good to move to the next.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome.
Let's take
And
request
next,
from Fasahat Roku on Nasdaq.
okay, and after Sahad, whom we got, I just want to see this, see below. What is it?
This buy and exit next week.
Okay, okay, can you scroll down after Roku Snap Tilo, and what else we have
Oh,
got? I just want to
okay.
see.
Yes, we can see that. Snap, TWO, and SQ. All
Snap TW, SQ, SNY, Prime, CTS, Blue, Jaren. Okay. Okay, we'll take one from every guy. I'm taking Roku, and then I will move on to Prem SNY.
yeah,
Okay. Can we go back to the same screen again?
yeah. Just the next tab.
Okay. It was Roku.
Yeah,
Can we remove this indicator, please?
yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll put RSI here.
RSI, the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. So this stock, let's draw. So this is the current support level. We just, I think, taking a support at this point. The next level is this one. So this is the second support. Here is the wick, one time, two time, and like 3-4 times at this point as well. And it turned from these levels of 323. And then again, for the second time, it fell back at this level, took a support, now coming back again to the same level. Maybe let's see if it can take a support from this point as well. The other thing is the channel that I want to show you guys here. Look. Uh, so it was in a channel. It gave a breakout. Just focus on these three candles, the last 3 or 4 candles. This point, this green candle, okay, this was on the higher end of this channel, and then the next day it give a breakout. I will just zoom for you guys to just look it clearly. I'm talking about this candle. It gave a breakout here. Okay, it was the opening. Okay, very good. It's a breakout, went up. but didn't sustain. Fell back again to the same channel, but a little bit on the outer side of the channel. Okay, the next day, fine, it went up and gave a good closing, which was above the channel, outside the channel, and actually at the resistance level, at the horizontal resistance, which it was facing for last 2-3 days. Look at these things, these levels. So this one was the resistance. Yep. So this one was resistance. Now fell back again in green, and it's trying to stay along the same channel, but still it is like it is outside, number one, outside the channel, previous channel in which it was going through. But the other thing is, which is not very positive, I would say a neutral, it's not even breaking out. It's not giving a breakout, a clear breakout, so that it can reach out to this one. So it is out of the first channel, number one. Number two, it is still moving along the downside direction and not going up. So it has to actually move up to set up some trend. At this point of time, the only thing that I can see is still a downward trend, but not a very clear path that is indicative of the future price movements. So either it can, with what I see, it may move along the sideways, a consolidation phase, before it can go in either direction. But what happens when the stock is falling down? There comes a point where it stops and go under consolidation, and after the consolidation you see a very good upward move, because at this point all the selling pressure will be exhausted. Whenever it changes its trend, because it was falling down due to a selling pressure, so there was a selling pressure exhausted. Now it has started moving sideways. On At this point in time, there is no such pressure, and if it goes along the other upper side of the channel, means that there is a buying coming in this stock, and it can give a breakout on the upper side. So for Twilio, I would say it has given a breakout, but it's still trying to sustain on this breakout. No, and breakout was not actually a successful breakout, I would say, last 3 days back, and fell back again along with the same channel. Seems that it's gonna move sideways from here. So if it comes back again within the same channel, so don't ever think of getting into it unless it falls back again to these levels. So this can be the next level if it goes like so bad that it falls back again within the same channel, which I doubt might not be the case, because it seemed that it's gonna move sideways from this. So strategy should be just to wait and watch out where it actually moves. If it enters below the same channel, this can be dangerous. So if it moves upward, so upward you have a target of 368. Downside, it's currently at its support level of 300, I would say 41. 341, 340 is the support. Upside is 368. So play within these channels. So market is consider the overall index as well, and then take your call accordingly. So R1 368, S1 341, S2 323, and let's talk about the R3, R2 as well. Uh, R2 should be somewhere. This can be the point for R2. This should be the R392, should be the next resistance level for this stock. Yeah, I think we can move on to the next. What was the other one? CTX. Shall I go here in this sheet?
Yeah, CTS from SNY
CTS
from
from
Prem.
SNY and then CTS.
Yeah, purchased at 48. He's looking for target price
Okay.
next time.
SNY.
So his buy price is 48. He's looking for the target price.
Okay, 48. Fine. Let's see. Okay, very nice. Seems to be in a very good uptrend and a long run. very long run. Okay. The good thing about this stock is that it's continuing its uptrend, and the question mark for this when this uptrend can be finished. And probably this is the question from Prem as well. Okay. This is in this channel. Let's draw one more line as well to support our views on this. So this is number one, which is the current level. Okay. And the good thing is there's a gap, which can be the next level. A small gap though. Okay. It's not going very precise since I'm controlling the other machine. Okay. Fine. Okay. Now we have to see actually two things here. That currently it can be a resistance level and it may fall down from this point. But if it breaks this current level, the next level is 50.52, which is not very far. It's just like I would say 60 cents, not more than that. So these two are like very, very, very close. Within the day, it can touch this point of the 50.52 and may give a closing below that. So that can trigger your exit point. So this one and the other one, if you still want to hold more, so this could be the final targets for you, 51.51. Okay, here your price is 48, 49.92. You're still in profits. So realize some of your profits here because the RSI is almost like exhausted. It's done here. See, the last time when RSI was at its highest point, it fell back again. Now again at the same point. It doesn't have a history of breaking out this RSI of more than 70. Look here. We do a backtrend, never crossed since like June 2020. And even like before, if I go, never ever went. Okay, here the last time when it went was 2019, September 2019, very long time back. So and the previous history is like the most recent one. It tried to give a breakout here, no, fell back. And here again, what could be the answer? May fall back again, highly likely, because currently at its resistance. So and even if it calls, the next is very, very, very close. So for you, I think it's better to sell it off here, realize your profit, or at least 50% book it, and then wait for the next move. It goes up, book the remaining 50%. Or if you are very, very closely monitoring it,
Shall we
yeah,
reconnect because the call is about
yeah,
to.
it's only 6 minutes. Yeah, and yeah, I think now, Kamal, you can take the control and go ahead.
Okay.
We, me and Vivek will share my views for the rest.
Okay.
Okay, because it's going with one last point here before we close out this. Okay, if you see the shape of this channel, it's like almost horizontal. I would say like 80-degree increase, so 80-degree angle. So if it falls down, believe me, it will fall down in the same way. So you won't get a chance to get out if you trying to stick to it to earn like more and more and more. It will fall back very, very quickly in the same way it went up. It will fall back the same way, and fresh buying here is not recommended. Okay, yeah, go ahead, Kamal.
Yeah. Thanks, Tahir. So we will go to the next stock. Next, we'll take CTS from Mohit. CTS from TSX. Right, for CTS, it's on downtrend. RSI is downward. If we look for its it has a support at around 5.1312. Um, Weekly chart, if we see, it has been it has formed a red candle. RSI is downward even on weekly chart. So at this point, if you are holding Mohit, it would be better to wait for it to fall at this range and then either average out, or if you are already in profit, you can exit and then re-enter again. If you see on trend line, it's still downward. Can draw a trend line here. So buy at around 5.10, and for that could be the support. That can be S2 and S1.
What two?
Yes. But this looks to be a weak support, so I would say a support of 5.110 would be better for re-entry. Vivek sir, were you saying something?
5.1 and 4. 4.10.
This, you are looking at this support?
I'm looking at 4.
Mhm.
Drop it down to 4. Yeah. S2 would be 4 and 5 would be S1. First support at 5 or 480.
Even lower.
Take yeah, 495 or 490. 490 and 4.
Okay.
Yeah, because of the gap down. Yep, in the lower wick.
Yeah.
Or like 450 can also be considered lower wick and the gap wherever the gap closes
This one?
a little bit. Uh, yeah, this can and this one. I'm talking about
Yeah.
this. Yeah,
454.
450.
450. Yep.
450. Yeah.
So
So
because it has like
possibly
two
490,
instances.
495 could be your entry, your first entry, with a stop of about 445.
Yeah, that's also
Yep.
good
So that
support.
And
you
it
fill in the gap and you come out and you say your stop is secured.
Hmm.
And next at 4. 4
Yes, Vivek sir. So you are saying then support at this is a good.
Support at 395, and the first support at 490
Yeah,
with a stop of 445,
yeah.
right? Then next support at about 390 or 380, 395,
Hmm.
stop at 340.
So this would it would take about uh, 3 4 weeks for this to
Of
reach.
course, because I'm not expecting to enter at this point. It's at the peak of this thing. If you convert to weekly, you realize
Hmm.
you're almost at the peak.
Yeah, it's in this channel and it is
And
consolidating
it's not a
weekly.
very old stock. It's not a very new. It's not a very old stock. It's a new trading entry. So I really can't. You really can't think much on it.
So it would be better to exit and wait for it to fall to this support because
Yes, you can exit at around 6 or 625 if you're lucky enough.
mhm.
Weekly around 625 would be a good exit point.
it had
Even six,
it had reached 6 and
it has
reaching
reached even
6
higher.
reaching again 6 looks to
6.5, 6.5,
and
6.6. So 6.25 would be a good exit entry. 6.25, 6.3. Yeah.
yeah, and then re-enter at this support of 49 4.9.
Yeah.
One thing here, Kamal, if you just point your cursor at the intersection of this lower with the horizontal, yeah, this one, okay, 4.89. We were talking about the days, it won't be earlier than 25th March. So this is, if it continues the same trend, it will hit at this level, the support level, by like expectedly 25th of March. That can be because at this point of time, it is at its horizontal support as well, and at the lower end of its channel as well. So that can be the expected time range if it moves the same channel with the same momentum and the same direction. So that
And
can be interesting point.
that could be a good entry point for a good bounce back of
Yeah.
6 or 6.25 also.
Yeah,
Yep. That can be.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah. I think we can move on to the next one. What's the next
yes.
guy?
So we'll take one from Vivek,
Vivek.
GWAC, and then we'll go to POW from Rajat.
Vivek and POW. The next one was POW.
Yeah, yeah.
GWAG Goodwill Acquisition Corp.
It was on downtrend, then got pushed up from this mid Bollinger Band. It has a weak support.
Is there any trend on this? Just 1 second. Can you zoom out?
Can you zoom out and see a larger picture?
Yeah.
It's a recent entry.
Yeah, it's a more recent entry and there is no trend. It was in a consolidation phase and then there is spike and then coming back. So I see this stock coming back again to its original consolidation levels. Go down, go down, go down. There's a gap. Yeah, this one. These levels. 10.5.
10.5.
Yeah, this is the point where it's gonna stop. So for this, uh, let's talk about a fresh entry. Fresh entry is not recommended at this point unless it falls back again to this level of 10.5, consolidates for some period of time, and that could be a entry point for long term. In the short term, only these few spikes, some news here and there can give you a short term profit, and then but that should be very quick. You need to enter and exit. And from fresh entry, not recommended. It's gonna be a gamble. Go down, wait till it consolidates, and then you plan for a long-term entry in such stocks because they don't have any history. They don't have any set trend. So don't go risky. There are like a lot more opportunities in the market. Invest in there so you can get that. But if you're curious to grab those that have like good prospect and then it's gonna be for a long-term investment, not for a day trading perspective. So if you are such a trader who value the long-term investments, so you can take this given the fundamentals are very strong and the prospects are very good for this company. You can, but this is not the right price to enter for that long-term investment. So it should be like below 10. the price it was launched. So that can be a point. Unless you have done your research, we are not doing any fundamental analysis here. For long term, number one, not recommended for like very quick trade in and out, because at this given point of time, because this is very very fluctuating for last 2 weeks. Long term, yes, given the fundamentals are good, and but the entry price should be below 10. So that's what
Okay, yes,
I would say.
I have done some research on it. Like it is a
Okay.
Bitcoin, it is a
Mhm.
Bitcoin stack.
Okay.
And that's the reason I took entry, I think around 10.5. No, the green candle, the lowest
Mhm.
point of that, I think
Okay.
10.86 or something.
10.85 was the lowest. And actually,
Yeah,
yeah, to Tahir's analysis, I was about to mention that if you are already holding it, keep a stop loss at 10.85. That's
Yeah.
why I
10
was
point, yeah.
moving the cursor here. So if
No,
you are holding it,
what actually I'm doing is I'm adding just 10 at each time as it is falling down,
Don't
because I,
average. Don't average
yeah,
at this point,
yeah,
because if it fell down from 11, it will go down to 10. So there's a
okay,
10%
okay,
10% downfall at the same point. If it
okay,
goes up, okay, that's fine. You can build on your more and more profits, and side by side start pulling out the profit, realizing the profit. But if it falls down, it doesn't have any history to sustain at these levels. It falls down,
yeah,
it's gonna hit you, and then with
okay,
again
yeah,
you may expect a long consolidation phase.
okay, yeah, got you. Thank you.
yeah, and
Okay.
since you have entered at 10.85, I would suggest to keep a stop loss at 10.95, which was close to the opening price on last session.
Okay,
So in case it goes down, your stop loss will execute and you would still exit at
at
profit.
profit.
A
Yeah,
Yeah,
profit or a break even.
yeah,
So
or break
if
even.
the moment you reach your break even, let's get out, and then don't worry even if the stock went up, because these
okay,
stocks will be like highly unpredictable since they have no history.
okay, no problem.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
But if the
as
fundamental, as you were saying, the fundamentals are good, okay, fine, you have done your research on that, but wait for the stock to come down again to the previous channels.
Okay, so 10.5 would be a good entry, you mean?
Yeah, between 10 to 10.5. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Yeah, what was the next one
next
from
is
our guy Ranjan? POW, and this should be our last stock for today. POW seems like prisoner of wars. POW to call to the prisoner of wars.
it
Okay,
was on uptrend and has reached its
okay.
Doji candles. Last 2 days, doji candles.
Yeah, dodgy candles both days. Still, the fate is not decided. Seems like the gap up or the high price is not sustained. Let's zoom out and see what happened to this prisoner of war.
so it's
Okay,
again it's
It's a
okay. Means
recent
52
risk.
weeks high.
yeah, it's at all-time
That's
high. It
all times high. So that's why the people are not very, very confident about the price. There is upside price rejection and then the downside price rejection as well. So one day there was upside price rejection. Okay, the second last day, red candle, upside price rejection, and with a gap up opening. The next day it didn't did a gap up opening, because now in this day people are not expecting it to go up, not supporting the higher price, and then it started falling down, sell off, and the lower price was also not supported. Back again to the same point. So there is a fight going on between bulls and bears. Neither of the parties like agreeing to the higher price nor to the lower price. Seems very very interesting. But if you look at the RSI shows you, okay, this is like all done, almost like all times higher RSI as well. Fresh entry never ever recommended. And profit realizing, yes, this is a point where you realize your profits, at least like always say 50% book it here if you're still looking for some more and more. Okay, at your own risk, but watch closely on the daily chart. And if it fell down, it will fill the gap and will start falling down in the same with the same angle in which it
29.50.
closed, like, yeah. So that can be, yeah, 31.
28.50 also.
These,
29.50 and 28.50.
yeah, and before that it can have a small breather up at around 32.5 or
Minor supports.
32.8. Yeah, minor
Minor
one,
supports.
minor support for just a breather to give a chance to exit if someone wanted to exit. So this should
Absolutely.
be the point for the exit chance, and then you might not get a chance if you go below. but fresh entry, no.
Someone convert this to weekly chart. Let me see. I think the distribution happening on top.
Yes,
Last
since
distribution. See that. It's a very volatile stock. I mean, if you see such candles on a weekly chart, it's practically impossible to trade them.
yes,
Exactly.
It is zoom out because there are large gap between May and September, which can't be seen. What happened in between those days? Huge volumes, and look at the candle sizes, weekly candle sizes.
Very volatile. Is there any news it
This
went
is
up?
this is an operator driven stock or what? Is it an operator driven stock? Some big people playing on it regularly.
Maybe. Not quite sure. Is there any news, Kamal? Can you check the news on this stock?
It had
Yes.
a result. It had a last quarterly results this week.
It's V, but I can't see this in
No, but
it.
results this week is good. But look at the candle charts, the candle size. The candle size is too big.
The entire energy sector
Look at the
is
high
doing
and
good.
low of each candle will be. I mean, it's a trader's paradise if you ask me.
The entire energy sector was doing good from last 2 weeks.
I'm not
Yeah,
denying.
now it has reached. Now it has. The thing is, now it has reached its maximum.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can I comment on the news?
sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So basically, they have a huge investment on the light electric, the bus company, EV company, and the Quebec and the federal ministries have kind of shown their interest of investment into this, and they also own a stake in Wealthsimple Group.
Okay. There's a new
Go
investment
ahead.
coming in. So because of that investment.
Yeah, so they
Okay.
already own 44% stake in the Lion Electric, the Quebec-based company, who's already secured like 2,500 orders early.
And when was this news broke out?
It was some time back. So historically, they have been owning this like almost 44%. So there's a merger happening of, if you see NGA stock, so it's like an SPAC. NGA, yeah. So it's like an SPAC for Lion Electrical. So it's going to merge by end of April or something. So it's going to have a new ticker, LEV, from April. So I took a bet on this because POW has like a 44% stake in Lion Electric. So once they start production and starting deliveries, I'm assuming that it's going to go up further.
Okay. At this point of time, yeah, you're talking from the long-term perspective. Okay, you have a good point here from the acquisitions going on and the new ticker for this new trading thing. And this point, yeah, okay. From if you talk about last 2 days, I would say the higher price is not supported by the market. So you can have this stock. Yeah, fundamentally it's good. Strategically is good. You can invest in this given on your fundamental research that you have already done, and it's quite good. And thank you for sharing with all of us. Maybe some other participants or those guys who are viewing this or will view it later might get interested and do their own some sort of research and then get into it. And as far as technicals are concerned, the current price is not recommended for entry. Maybe if it falls down a little, and you can enter at this point. Or if you are like very very confident and you want to hold it, you may hold this stock, but still I would say I would say realize some of the profit at this point, and for the rest you can hold for a long term. But that if you are holding for a long term, the price fell down, so don't get a heart attack because you are holding it for a long term.
In fact,
That's all.
the SPAC mentioned is at a better price to be entered in GAC.
Yeah, so it actually and NGA actually went down quite a bit.
Mhm.
Like it was at 23 levels.
Mhm.
That is
Yeah,
in
it's
Nasdaq. Yeah,
NGC.
really a good price to enter.
NGA. Yeah, it's NGA.
MGA?
Not
It's NGA, not NGAC.
NGA. Yeah, uh, Nancy Juliet.
N.
N for Norway, G for Germany, A for Austria.
So this one is
Yep.
on New York Stock
Yeah,
Exchange.
Northern
Yeah,
Genesis.
not Genesis. Northern,
Yep.
yeah, not Northern Genesis.
no, the
Yes,
first one.
Yeah, yeah.
first
Yep.
one.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in fact,
So
this one
this
is,
took.
go ahead.
So this ticker is going to change to LEB, which is going to be Lion Electric. Like so, the merger is under process.
This chart could be bought if you ask me.
Yeah, so I tried
This
to
chart,
enter, but then
NGA could be bought.
it went
Uh,
down to 12 or something some few days
Uh,
back.
yeah, even
14.
can I say a word on it?
yeah,
Yeah.
at
No,
50, yeah,
Yeah. So Power Corporation is a holding company which owns many businesses. Like I think one of the big insurance companies also owned by it,
That's correct.
and
Yeah.
many other big businesses. It's a holding company. And Line Electric is a private company with investment from Power Corporation and other investors. So I think the ticker symbol of that, because now Line Electric is getting public through a SPAC at NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange. So I think ticker symbol, that will be a new ticker symbol for Lion Electric, but not for POW. That's what I think.
Yeah. So POW will not change. So I was referring to NGA, which is going to change to LEB.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, so in either case, if you are holding POW based on the technicals, what we see is good time to exit at least partially, maybe 75% around, and you could hold the remaining in case it goes further up. But as of now, what Tahir had analyzed and even I feel is from technical point of view, it is showing weakness, which means you could see correction and a better price to buy more if you are thinking to enter would be somewhere around 31.5. You
It
could
could
still
be
hold for
a
long
small,
term.
yeah, short term fell back because it's like at this point in time it's indifferent. The closing price for both the days is the same. Both days has got one day has got upper wick, the other day has got both upper wick and the lower wick. Means once on the most recent one is a higher price is not accepted, lower price is also not accepted. So what is it? It's an indifferent position. So next day will be like crucial. If it's trading above 33.48 and stays above there for like in the for first few hours of the trading session, it can be good for this, but closing is very important. Closing is very important. That can set the trend of this for the coming week, and given that the closing is not indifferent at the dodgy candle as well.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so from long term perspective, your fundamental analysis and the news which you are sharing is definitely a positive aspect for holding from long term. Um, for new entry and for increasing your position, it would be better to wait for its small correction.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. I think we have exceeded just by only 1 hour from our time limit. Just 1 hour. It's a 50% increase from 2 hours to like 3 hours. Not 50, yeah, 50. Yeah, 50% increase. So yeah, hats off to us. Also with a 50% margin. Okay. So thank you very much. I know we have not covered a few of the stocks that are requested, but at least we tried at least one from every participant. And Akshay and Sushil, I think these are the guys. Maybe you can we can send them something over the WhatsApp. We can analyze and share that in the channel.
Yeah, so
How does that sound?
after the session we will offline we'll analyze and update the sheet and
Yeah, we'll update this sheet and we will be sharing the link of this sheet, and this will be in our YouTube channel. And you can go and follow that, read that. Those who were not able to see due to some the whole video, it will only be a like long 2-hour video. So those who can't like watch out for full 2 hours, but still they're interested to see what's going on in there. So we have come up with me and Kamal and Vivek. We discussed something back internally, and then we came up with the idea that we will present this screen, this sheet on our channel, and this will be a short video, 10-15 minutes. So you can have this support levels and the resistance levels and your target prices, so you can just watch that short video to see where what are the stocks that we are talking about in the video, and what can be the target prices and stop losses and entry point for those levels. But if you're interested in like much more detail, so YouTube video, a long session will also be there on the channel, so you can go there and have you can watch that for a long perspective or a more detailed view, I would say. But a shortcut will also be there from now onwards on a weekly basis. I hope that will help most of our participants, our members.
Yes. Thank you for your time.
Okay, you're most welcome, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you,
everyone.
Vivek,
Thank you
Kamal,
very much. Thank
and
you so much.
all the team members.
Thank you.
Thank you
Good
all.
day. Enjoy
Have
weekend.
Thank you, guys.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Welcome.